What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Coffee and Motivation. My name is Steve Warner. I am here to get you pumped up for your day, give you a little bit of knowledge, give you something great to help you move forward and conquer your goals. Today, I want to talk a little bit about one of the big things that I think separates entrepreneurs from everybody else in the world. If you haven't watched The Last Dance with Michael Jordan, I greatly encourage you to go watch it. It's on Netflix. It's absolutely amazing. But one of the things that I took away from it was, at the end of the game, Michael Jordan wanted the ball. With 1 second left, he was like, pass me the ball every single time. He wanted to be the guy to take the last shot. And there's a quote in the movie where they're talking to him, and he pretty much says, I want that. Like, that's what drives me forward. That's what pushes me. That's what I'm thinking about every day when I'm working out, every day when I get up early and I show up to the gym before everyone else, in practice when everybody else is hurting. That's what drives me. I want to be the person taking the last shot. And I think one of the big things that separates entrepreneurs from everyone else wants a safe, secure job. Everybody else wants a 401k. Everybody else wants this like very pristine, normal life, right? White picket fence, couple kids, minivan. I mean, there are entrepreneurs who want that too. But the thing that separates us is we want the ball. We want the pressure, right? The pressure is actually what drives us forward. It helps push us to be the best version of ourselves. We want the ball at the end of the game. The thing that I think separates successful entrepreneurs from non-successful, one, they have a very clear goal. When people are getting started, right, they have a clear goal. It's usually a money goal, but they don't have a super specific outcome that they're getting for people. They don't have a clear avatar. They're not clear in what they're doing. Instead, they're like, I just need to make a whole bunch of money. I need to replace my salary. Well, that definitely drives some people. We've seen entrepreneurs out there that are just money based, and they can get results, right? If you want something bad enough, you can push forward and get it. But beyond that, I think you have to have a commitment to contribution. You have to want to change the world. We've definitely seen this. If you follow Russell Brunson, if you follow Joe Polish, if you follow Alex Sharfin, if you follow Frank Kern, they're all there and they're all pushing to change the world, right? They're all saying, I help a lot of people and I do that in order to change the world. Yes, I want to make money, but I also want to change the world. They make a solid commitment to what they are doing. So this is kind of the last piece. They make this commitment, and commitment is different than saying I'm going to do something, right? Committing is when you drive a stake in the ground, you say, no matter what, I am doing this. There was somebody I once heard quote, like, the Latin term for decide. Decide means to cut off all other options. If you actually decide to do something, you know that you have to move forward. You know that you have to make a clear decision, and there is no other option. If there's no other option, think about this in your life, right? If there's no other option and you have to do something to move forward, think about how that applies to your life. Let's think about one specific situation, right? When I made the decision to come to Phoenix, I got in my car, I packed everything up. I was in Orlando at the time, packed everything in my car. I made the decision, I got on the road, and I started driving. Did I know exactly how I was going to get here? Well, yeah, I had my phone. It kind of gave me a roadmap. I knew I was going that way. But what happens if I hit a detour? What happens if I'm driving along and a roadblock pops up in front of me, or the road's closed and I have to go around? Well, I find a way because I made the decision to come here. That's how I ended up here, right? You make the decision, you commit, and then you move forward. The last piece that I think changes the game more than anything, though, is dedicated, deliberate practice. If you haven't heard of this term before, I encourage you to Google it, look it up. I'll give you the Cliff Note version though. But this is where you learn your craft better than anyone else. When Michael Jordan practiced, he would go, like when he started, so he wanted to dominate the lane, right? If you don't follow sports, that's okay. I'm not a huge sports person, but I picked this up by watching the documentary. And I was blown away from it. And what he said was, when other people are practicing, they just go and they just want to do a scrimmage, right? They just want to shoot some shots. I show up when I wanted to learn how to do a fadeaway jumper, when he was getting a little bit later in his career and he didn't have the power to go into the lane as much. He practiced that shot for hours at a time over and over and over to drill repetition, right? So in your business as an entrepreneur, you have a clear goal as where you're going. You've decided that you're going to get there. You've committed, you've driven that stake in, you know that this is where you're standing. How do you deliberately practice that every day? How do you show up? I was talking to my friend Mark Stern, and we were talking about, it seems like everybody that is successful decides what they're standing on, right? For me, I'm standing on webinars and how to speak from stage. Mark talks about how boxes are the solution to everything and building an ultimate experience. Every person we talk to, we share that with, right? If you talk to Marley Jacks, Marley is all about doing videos. That's her thing. That's what she talks about. She doesn't talk about, oh, you should be sending emails every day, or maybe you should focus on your funnels. Instead, she focuses on video. That's first and foremost at the front of the mind. And you practice that over and over and over. If you want to get better at sales calls, you need to practice your sales calls. That means role play them, sit down, go through your recordings, right? You should be recording all of your sales calls. This is something I see in webinars all the time. People want to do one webinar and then they don't have any results from it. If you're not doing the webinar over and over and over again and learning how it actually works and all the little nuances, how you use your tonality, how you use your pacing, how you overcome objections, it's never going to get any better. But I know so many people that have taken it, and what they've done with it, they use a script. They get a script somewhere and they go through it once really quick. And it's such a huge pain point because they're uncomfortable being in front of the camera and they're uncomfortable sharing their message. So they sit there and they work their way through it. They get through it and they say, that's it. I'm doing it one time. I'm turning it evergreen. And then it never really gets the results for them. Well, that's not deliberate practice. I would say that that is also not making a commitment, right? You're not changing anyone's life with a webinar that is half-assed. You have to actually commit to getting good at speaking. And that means going through it several times. You have to get good at overcoming people's objection in a one-to-many format. There are very specific ways that you can do that. If you guys need help with a webinar, I would be happy to chat with you about it. Send me a DM, reach out to me, leave a comment below this. If you guys want a positive text in your phone every single day to wake up to, put in a number on the screen. I would love to send you a positive quote. This is something I used to get these in my email way back in like 2007, 2008, but I wanted to move it to the phone. There's nothing better than waking up and seeing a positive text message that gets you excited for your day. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Till next time, take action, change lives, and make money. We'll see you soon.